Fiesta Bowl CFP quarterfinal on New Year's Eve. At this time, I'd like to open it up for some opening comments from Coach. Coach, welcome.
Well, good morning, guys. So appreciate everybody's time. So thankful for everybody being here. And thank you, Jesus, for another day of life. And I give him all the glory. Our team is fired up to be here. Just like everything, you know, every team starts their off season in January about goals and what they want to do. And then you got to get to work. If you focus too much on the end result and not on the process, it's never going to happen. And so I'm so proud of our team, taking it one day at a time. I believe in what you do in the dark will come to light. And I'm proud of our team and how they've earned every opportunity. They've earned the right to play in this amazing game. Boise State has been here before. It's been a decade since we've been back here. And just proud of our team, earned the right to get back here. And I appreciate everybody's time, and our team's excited, our staff's excited, and we're ready to go to work, ready to put the ball down on Tuesday night.
We'll open it up for questions. If you do have a question, could you please raise your hand so we can get one of our mic runners to you. We'll start here in the front row on the right.
Coach Cody Cameron, first of all, welcome to Phoenix. James Franklin was up here talking about watching you guys on tape. You guys deserve to be here. He gave so much credit to you and your staff and your players for how well you guys played this season. Watching them on film, common opponent, obviously Oregon, and your most recent tape, what's your analysis of that Penn State team?
Yeah, absolutely. Penn State, first off, extremely well coached. I mean, I have a ton of respect for James Franklin, what he's done this year, but what he's done for years at Penn State, even prior. So we know in all three phases, very well coached. They've got great personnel too. They've done a great job recruiting. They've done a great job developing as well. Guys that came in as freshmen kept getting better year in and year out. And so across all three phases, extremely well coached, very talented. And it's a team that does play together. They play complementary football, good defense, explosive offense. They find a way to change the game on special teams. So, and you see the teams they play, and you don't see one game where it's not that way. Like, they're a resilient group in all three phases, well coached, great personnel. So we know we're going to get the absolute best on Tuesday night.
Next question. Over here in the front row on the left.
What's going on, Coach? James Franklin said that this is a business trip, and that's how they're coordinating it, that's how they're executing it. I'm sure you guys have similar thoughts on that. How's your execution going of that, of keeping this, because this isn't a bowl game per se where this is the last game you're playing. You win, you keep this thing going, Coach.
Yeah, absolutely, Johnny. And I talked to our team yesterday when we had our team meeting. We arrived in Arizona, and I said, starve distractions, feed your focus. Like, that's what we all have to do, me included. My wife came down. Our daughter Eleanor, who's 4, my daughter Rosalie is 2.5, and they don't care about this game, right? They're excited for the pool. And that's a lot of our, players, all their families are coming. A lot of people are coming down for the excitement. Our party is when we put the ball down at 5:30 Tuesday night. So boys, that's when we party, is at that time. But it's all about starving our distractions, feeding our focus. But I still want our guys to enjoy these moments. I want them to enjoy the time together. All the things that's created by the Fiesta Bowl. It's an amazing experience. Even getting off the plane yesterday was awesome for our guys. But we are here for a reason. We've worked our tails off from January to now. Starve distractions, feed your focus on everything. And then it's also staying in routine. I'm a huge process over perfection. And for our coaches, we just moved our whole routine from Boise, Idaho to Arizona. But making sure the same things we did to win the games that got us here, we've got to stay on that same track and find a way to always do it better.
Question here, second row on the right.
Hey, Coach, you have a veteran roster, but Penn State has guys that have played in like the Rose Bowl and bigger games. You guys don't leave any details unturned. So have you worked with these guys on the mental part of making sure that they handle the stage well, especially maybe in the first 15 minutes of this football game?
Yeah, Mike, we have to start fast. And you see, for our team, this is just college football in general, and a lot of that comes into how we prep. And that's why on Tuesday night, there's not going to be a lot of talking from me. It's, hey, boys, go cut it loose, because you've earned the right to go play your best on how you've prepped. Yes, they've got guys in their roster that have played in a lot of quote-unquote big games. We've been in playoff football since game 1. And so we've played in 13 big games that everybody said, if you lose this one, if you lose this one, if you lose this one, nothing's going to happen for you. And our guys have been in that mentality for 4 months or whatever it is. So we're staying true to that. And just like anything, how can we do it better this week, Mike? How can we have our best? Today's a Thursday for us. How can we have our best Thursday practice? Because That's what we control. We control how we prep. And then when we put the ball down on Tuesday night, I'm going to go cut it loose, boys. Trust your training. We don't need anybody to go out there and be Superman because the lights are brighter because it's the Fiesta Bowl. Go cut it loose. Trust your training. And I believe our best is enough, but our best is required.
Second row right.
Jeremy Sparks with NAZ Sports. Obviously, it's a really historic game considering it's the first time that the playoff quarterfinal's been in the Fiesta Bowl. I just want to know, how important is it for these guys who maybe haven't experienced this kind of playoff atmosphere to be able to get those reps in on Thursday?
Yeah, it's going to be huge for our whole organization, our whole team. And we've been working for this all season. And I believe, and I'm kind of saying the same things, but it's all about our process. It doesn't matter how many fans are there, who's watching on TV. We all know how big this game is on both sides, for Penn State and Boise State. We have been here before as a university. It's been 10 years, like I talked about, but we've never been in a playoff game. This is a first time. And in January, with a group of our seniors and juniors and sophomores and freshmen that said, hey, I'm not transferring. I'm staying right here. I want to do something that's never been done. I want to leave a legacy at Boise State that has never been done. And now fast forward a year and we're right there on the cusp of those things. So, but don't make the moment too big. Once again, put the ball down. We're playing football. It's going to come down to fundamentals, techniques, like all the things that we've worked to this point, because it is going to be, everyone's telling them how big this game is. But we've been in a lot of big games. Yeah, maybe there's less fans, maybe there's less people watching on TV, but it was still a huge game for our program, and our guys have found a way to win.
Third row right.
Connor Emery with NAC Sports. Coach, I just want to ask you, you've had an incredible journey. Last year, you took over as head coach, so, late towards the end of the season. Could you just, describe in your own words of, your own journey, how far you've come, and just, your overall words?
Yeah, first off, God is so good. I mean, we serve a champion. Thank you, Jesus. That's the only reason I'm here. People might not like that I say that, or they do. It doesn't really matter to me. It's all about being a light and having an impact. And I know that's the reason I'm the head coach at Boise State, is to develop people. Because at the end of the day, 10 years from now, people are going to forget about what happens in these games. It's about the impact for these young men with their husbands and fathers. And seeing this group of guys, some of our guys will go on and play in the NFL. Some of them, after this postseason's over, football will be done for them. But their life is not over. Life is not about mountaintop experience. It's about the journey. It's about the climb. And so even for myself, being the interim, winning the Mountain West Championship, being so blessed to be the head coach here, and then watching this group of young men and staff just go to work. I mean, in Tuesday, our winter training is on the blue in the snow, very different than the weather we're all walking around in today. And our guys just went to work. No one was around taking pictures. No one was videoing, and our guys just went to work. And when you stack those days, you earn opportunities like you have on Tuesday night. And so, just so proud of our guys, so proud of our staff. With where college football is, even the past month, there's a lot of things pulling at our players, our staff, everything, and our guys have stayed focused, stayed locked in, similar to your question, Mike. And so I'm proud of our guys in this journey, and I'm just blessed to be a part of it. This is nothing I'm doing. I'm not that smart. I'm not that cool. I promise you. I'm just so proud of our staff and our players.
Got a question here in the back on the left.
Like the tie, Jay.
Thanks, Vince.
Yeah.
Please count us out. You kind of unintentionally created a motto, I think. Did you plan to say those words at that press conference? And then how did it come to life on a shirt, and eventually 100 or so shirts were delivered, it sounds like, to your players?
Yeah, I definitely didn't plan on it becoming a shirt. I could promise you that, Jay, but that's what I believe in, and that's what Boise State has been built on. I mean, the first Fiesta Bowl in 2007, where the country, me included as a high school senior, watching Boise State Broncos beat Oklahoma in the Fiesta Bowl, counted out, and that's what draws people to Boise State. And I talked to our staff and our players. I said, everybody in this room, me included, has been counted out at some point in their life. Some point in football, someone said, you can't do this. And then you say, you know what, I'm going to prove you wrong right now. And you work your tail off to earn the right to do it. And that's what our team is. That doesn't mean it directly correlates to always winning the football games you want to win. But we've been counted out before. We've been counted out as a program. We've been counted out in games this year. And you thrive in that. Once again, outside noise doesn't matter. It's not going to affect our work. And if you want to count Boise State Broncos out, you can. But we're going to continue to work. And that's why I tell people, you can count us out. But I promise you, when you put the ball down on Tuesday night, our boys will be ready.
Second row on the right again.
Coach, talking to you guys in Boise earlier this week, Ashton Jenkins said he appreciated the 24 days off and says he feels fresher than he's ever been. Dirk says the time off scares him. When it comes to the rhythm and balance of this offense, where do you sit?
Yeah, it's kind of both sides, Mike. You know, you win the championship game, you get the bye, and you have more time. So the positive is rest, recovery, because we played 13 dog fights to find our way to the Fiesta Bowl. But there is also staying in rhythm as an offense, rhythm of the defense, rhythm on special teams, because we haven't had the game-like reps in a while. So it is both sides. Both sides, there's pros and cons to either one. I'm proud of how our guys have continued to be able to practice, even prior to us even knowing who we were playing in this game. We're game planning Penn State, we're game planning SMU, we're self-scouting ourselves to grow in a lot of the things that we had not done as well as we wanted to that point. So it's one of those things you always work for. We've done more good on good. So our starting defense versus our starting offense than we had prior to in season to get those game-like reps. And so we're finding ways to make sure we get those. I'm proud of where our guys are at from a rest recovery standpoint, but our guys have worked too. This wasn't sit around and eat vitamin C and feel good. Like, we were working. Our guys were paddling. We're living in the training room because you have to. The only way to play the way you want to is you have to do it in practice. It's not just the walkthroughs, the mental reps are pivotal, but you got to do it in practice. And we did that a lot of good on good to make sure we kept the game-like reps.
Go to Heather here on first row on the left.
Hi, Heather.
Hey, Heather Dennis with ESPN. Back to the count us out question. When you talk about a burden of proof, basically, fair or unfair for the entire group of five, how much pressure do you feel, not just for your own program, but for every group of five school out there to show people watching, not only did we earn our spot here, but we can win these games
Yep.
too. How important is that to represent basically all the group of five schools at this level?
Yeah, Heather, great question. When the college football playoff expanded to 12 teams, it gives everybody a shot. Now, you have to earn the right to get to the playoff, earn the right to play in these games, but it gives all FBS teams a shot. That you go win your games, you give yourself a shot to go play in these playoffs. And that's what it did for our team starting in January when we knew, hey, in the 2024 season, this is expanded. We all have an opportunity to play in the playoff just like everybody else. And now getting here, the please count us out is we represent a lot of people. I think you represent a lot of teams that have been counted out through that think, oh, it's going to be these are the teams that everybody wants to play in the playoff, or the media is going to say deserve to be in the playoffs. And our guys just went out and played, won games, counted out, won games, counted out, won games, and they've earned the right to be here. And so the pressure in regards to how it relates to the group of five teams and the college football landscape, not so much of a burden we carry, but I do believe in when someone's counted out, how they show up when the ball is put down does echo through the entire college football landscape for years to come. And that does matter to me because I believe in giving everybody a chance, giving everybody a shot. Then you got to go do it as a coach. And so with this game, there's a lot riding on it. For us, it's going to be about playing this football game and earn the right to play our best. The outside forces that are going to be affected from what happens in this game, we'll cross that bridge after. But I do believe in this setup. I do believe in the college football playoff because, once again, it gives everybody a shot. And if you want to count out the Broncos, please do.
We'll open up the floor now for player interviews. If you would like to continue to speak with Coach, please approach the stage. Thank you.